you have ever looked at Pratt on a map, you may have noticed a triangle just north of town. That triangle represents the few remains of the Pratt Army Airfield. The Pratt Air Base played an important role during World War II. With the help of Dorothy D'Angelo's book about the Pratt Army Airfield and interviewing John Cochran, I was able to learn more about the base. I'm going to share with you why there was a need, the lifestyle, the battles, and the changes that occurred because of the Pratt Army Airfield. December 7, 1941 marks an important day in history that changed both the world and the war. Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. This made the need for high-powered bomber aircraft immediate. While Boeing began building the B-29s in Wichita and Seattle, they were still lacking a place where crews could be formed and trained to work on the aircraft and fly them. That is when Pratt and 4 other central Kansas towns came into the picture. They were all flat and sunny, making it ideal for speedy construction of long runways and long training hours. In August of 1942, information was released confirming the plans to build a $3 million airbase just north of town. A year later, operations had begun, even though not all the base buildings were ready for use. The original goal of the Pratt Army Airfield was to process bombardment wings that would be used for overseas duty under the control of the 2nd Air Force. That soon changed when the lack of B-29 bombers was noticed. Pratt then became one of several fields dedicated to the B-29 combat training program. Now you may be wondering why there was a bigger need for the B-29 aircraft than other planes. Then you need to understand a bit more about this long-range heavy bomber and what it was capable of. According to Boeing.com, it had a wingspan of 131 feet and 2 inches and a length of 99 feet. This made it one of the largest war aircraft used during World War II. It had a range of over 3,700 miles and a bomb load from 10 to 20,000 pounds. It also had a pressurized cabin, an electronic fire control system, and guns that could be fired by remote control. And each plane required a crew of 11 workers. After months of waiting for planes to arrive at the base, the Battle of Kansas began. Flight crews, mechanics, engineers, and technicians at the Pratt Army Airfield joined forces against time in a raging winter blizzard. The B-29s that Boeing built were built before testing could be finished, so they sent them to Pratt where further modifications could be made. Hundreds of workers accomplished several months of work in only 3 weeks. They worked in freezing temperatures. They worked 24 hours a day, taking 20-minute shifts. That way they could keep from getting too cold. All of their hard work paid off on June 15, 1944, when headlines read that the B-29 had dropped bombs on Japan. Life on the base grew rapidly from 1943 to 1945. It was much like any other typical Midwest community at the time. It had a professional weekly newspaper, a base hospital, gym, library, and theater. But the workers weren't stuck at the base. A transportation system had been built called the curved bus line that took the workers to and from town. A block away from a bus station, the United Service Organization had formed a home away from home at the municipal building with the help of the community. There was a recreation hall where the workers could play games, sew, and even send messages home. There was also a very popular kitchenette where women from the community had made homemade goods where the men could take them home to the base. They also had held benefit dances where the lonely men could meet single ladies from the community. They also hosted famous entertainment, bingo parties, and music. They wanted a place where the workers could escape the worries and duties that they had at the base. But there was also efforts to make life at the base better also. One prime example of this was the Gray Ladies. The Red Cross supported these ladies who served as hostesses who could read and write letters and sponsor sponsor games, support games. The community had also changed during the existence of the Pratt Army Airfield. The involvement of the community was not only at the municipal building. The community fulfilled the needs of the base, whether it was supplies, transportation, meals, or just a caring friendship. No one was left without a family for Christmas. The base held an open house 4 times, and war shows were held in town to bring the community together. On October 25th, 1945, the Pratt Tribune announced that the Pratt Army Airfield was to close on December 31st. This meant that the population was about to decrease by hundreds, and that operations such as a hospital were about to close. In March of 1946, the last B-29 had left, and the population had decreased from over 6,500 to less than 100. Inventory and sales then began on February 4th, 1947, and the last man was transferred off the base. Although it was all over, that didn't mean that Pratt was going to go back to how it was before they built the Pratt Army Airfield. The economy and culture had been molded into something new. In Dorothy Giangelo's words, we had lost our innocence. Now that penicillin and antibiotics were now available, we no longer had to have signs outside the house when a child was sick. Now, men were not expected to just marry women from their hometown, and candy, pop, and ice cream were no longer rare treats. Those were just a few of the minor changes. A much bigger change was where women worked. They were no longer just expected to be teachers, nurses, telephone girls, store clerks, or stenographers. When the men went to work at the base, someone had to take over their former jobs. In this case, most of the time it was the women from the community. So when the war was over, they continued to succeed at these jobs that would have been unthinkable for them before. As you can see, the events of World War II gave the community of Pratt an opportunity to make an international difference in bringing freedom to many people. Because of the need for the base, the struggles, and the lifestyle, the Pratt Army Airfield changed Pratt forever. Although Pratt is a small rural community, it has a very rich history behind it that everyone should be aware of.